Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What is up, Panther fans? We might not have a feeling, but I have a feeling that the Carolina Panthers are trying to win sooner than later. They have stocked up the offense today with Hayden Hurst, a much-needed addition at tight end, as well as Miles Sanders. Maybe a little controversy there with a 4-year contract, and a lot of people love Dante Foreman. We've got all the latest news about free agency here on the C3 Panthers Podcast, and I rock with my wheelman, Cody Lashney.
Tony Dunn, Scott Federer has been very busy continuing to add offensive weaponry for the Carolina Panthers. Our boy White Chocolate Espresso got his wish, and Hayden Hurst, one of the most underrated tight ends in the NFL, is now a member of the Carolina Panthers. Dude, we're signing Cincinnati Bengals and New Orleans Saints like it's going out of style, man. Then Miles Sanders coming to the Carolina Panthers on a $25 million total deal. Man, Federer is out there putting in work. It doesn't feel like we're anywhere close to being done. What a time to be a Panthers fan, Tony Dunn. Going live again on a Wednesday night with your favorite Panthers YouTubers, man. I'm talking about 910 Panther Fan, Alex Mex Pro, Brandon R, Chad Morales, Jalen Eason, Chris Gosen, Coach P is a brand new member. What's up? D's Ill Skills, Jake the Snake FSU, Lynn Leonhardt, Lawrence Trevette, Panther Pickle, Shakid Baltar, Supreme Leader Z, and Underground West. Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Miles Sanders, slightly a surprise here, but you know what kind of surprise we want next? CK, and that's DJ Shark, DJ Shark, dude. Oh, no, the Panthers, man, the offense. Little, we opened up on day one with the defense. Now, over the last 2 days, we've from Bradley Bozeman now to Hayden Hurst. A lot of questions at tight end. I did not see Miles Sanders coming. CK, these guys don't look like they're sitting pat, though.
No, they don't. And here's the thing. I'm going to draw some decent parallels that should hopefully get some Panthers excited. But I tell you what, I told you guys what my main priority was for today, and the Panthers came through. I said, we need a veteran tight end who's going to be able to help a rookie be able to be a security blanket, to be a somebody who helps them understand the play call, maybe even helps them read the defense a little bit. I think a tight end did so much good for Cam Newton that it was just a smart decision to go after a veteran guy. It's an incredible day. I know that they're not done making moves. There's a lot of guys out there on the market. There's some high value guys out there on the market. And the fact that they haven't signed anywhere tells me they're waiting for a couple of dominoes to fall before they make their decision on where they're going. So I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. But tonight we're celebrating.
You're rocking with the longest running Panthers podcast, the C3 Panthers Podcast, and this community is lit. The chat, like you shouted out, Cody, is on top of everything. They're breaking the news right now. PJ Walker is heading to Chi-Town, and I flipped over to Twitter. And this news broke in 1 minute ago. 1 freaking minute ago, and our chat room is all on it. They're ahead. They're the ones. Per our chat room is what people are going to be writing on Twitter. Per C3 chat room. Per C3 community. We love you guys. Consider being a super fan. Smash the thumbs up button. Be a part of our community where we just have fun talking about the Carolina Panthers. And I got to say, this is Scott Federer. who
Whew.
I thought was a wet noodle. Honestly, I thought this guy was a wet noodle. I thought that he was a guy that was bullied by Matt Rule. He just turns out maybe he's just a nice dude and maybe a little nervous in front of the camera. I always feel like he's a little nervous in front of the camera, like when I taught my first classes, like ever. And like you could just hear the breathing is a little off or whatever. But what he's not nervous about is making some damn moves. Holy cow. He's not nervous. He's aggressive. He's like one of those dudes. He's like I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I'm always weird with the sexual references, but it's like that just surprises you in the bedroom. And you're like, I didn't see that coming.
Dude, listen, man. I mean, Federer, listen. I was new to podcasting at one point in time. I was a little shy. And then I got used to being in front of the camera with all of you beautiful bastards. And now I'm used to it, right? I think Federer is getting used to it. But more importantly, that exuberance that is flowing throughout Carolina Panthers fans right now, I feel like it's flowing throughout the organization as well. Everyone knows that we have the number one pick. We're going to be getting one of the highly touted quarterbacks of this year's draft. And now it's time to put weapons around him. And that's what the Carolina Panthers have chosen to do. We started today at the tight end position, and former South Carolina Gamecock Hayden Hurst is now coming to the Carolina Panthers on a 3-year deal. And this man has been one of the most underrated tight ends in the NFL the past few years.
Has he?
He really has. He has, man.
He's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. He hasn't been great. He only had 400 yards last year.
But listen, he contributed. But also remember what teams he was on, though. I mean, he was the third fiddle to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had a bunch of options up there in Cincinnati. He was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, then went to the Atlanta Falcons. He's been bounced around, but shout out to Rich Kingston, one of our viewers from the UK. He pointed out on Twitter, there seems to be a point of bringing players on this team that have a connection to the Carolinas. He's a South Carolina Gamecock, spent a lot of time here in the Carolinas. I'm loving this move, man. This was an incredible move. He can do a lot of different things in pass protection, but more importantly, catching the ball downfield, which is something that we have not seen a lot of production from the tight ends in Carolina for the past few years now. This is a legitimate upgrade to the tight end spot for the Carolina Panthers, and I'm pumped about it, man. Even as a Clemson fan, I don't give a damn, man. I am more than happy to pull for my man Hayden Hurst. I'm pumped.
I think this is the best tight end we could have added out of all the group. And and listen to me. Why? Well, one, because he's with us now. I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's what you were saying." But look, I've been a little hesitant on Gesicki because of the one note. It's a little Jimmy. It's a little too Jimmy Grahamish with not the 1,000-yard season to back it up or whatever that Jimmy Graham used to do. And then on the other hand is that Evan Ingram, who was franchise tag, right, had such a good season. It's expensive. What I love, and I said this on last night's show, CK, is that Hayden Hurst, and I didn't say him, but I wanted a tight end that wasn't one note, wasn't just a blocker, wasn't just a catcher and a pass catcher. And that's kind of what the Panthers tight ends have been recently, is that we have guys that we list as a tight end and a fullback, and we have Ricci and, is like, and Ian Thomas, we thought was a pass catching tight end, and then he turned out not to be. Trimble is like Hayden Hurst. I think you said it best in your opening, CK, is that you could go and get a star tight end that's a rookie, but he's not like, this is like a guy that's knows the game right now.
Right.
It's not somebody that's a project. You don't have two projects. You don't have a quarterback project and a tight end project. You got a quarterback you're trying to bring along quickly.
No, you got a quarterback you're trying to bring along quickly, sure, but I think at the end of the day, you also have a guy who's still trying to prove himself. This is a guy. What was he drafted in 2018, right?
Yeah, is that
By the
Lamar's
way-
year, by the way?
What was that?
Is when was Lamar Jackson
No.
drafted?
I don't remember
Same
that.
year, I think.
But I remember that it was basically the way the Bosemans were talking about it is he was drafted in the same class as Bradley was, and
Okay.
so there's a connection between Bradley
Oh,
Bozeman
yeah.
and Hayden Hurst. But
He
I
did
also,
not have a lot of production with the Ravens. He was
Sure.
then traded, I believe, to the Falcons and had one really good year. They tanked. When I say they tanked, their whole team tanked the following year. He was hurt. So he's had one good year in Atlanta and one good
Right.
year in Cincinnati. He had 6 touchdowns in Atlanta with 570
But Tony,
yards.
you want to know what's, I don't know if you call it sad or whatnot. How about last year, Hayden Hurst had basically the same amount of production as all of the tight ends put together on the Carolina Panthers team.
It's a little sad.
Last year, Hayden Hurst had 52 catches, 414 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And in 2022, the Panthers tight ends had 42 catches, 417 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This man accounted for damn near the entire production value of everything the Carolina Panthers tight end group put up last year. That's why this is such a good signing. Josh McCown, our new quarterback coach, compared one CJ Stroud to a Joe Burrow. How funny that we might be potentially drafting a CJ Stroud, and now Hayden Hurst is going to be catching passes from someone who is a comparable talent to Joe Burrow. I think this is a fantastic signing. It opens up so many options downfield for the Panthers. Man, listen, we remember in 2011 how much Greg Olsen and Jeremy Shockey meant to a rookie Cam Newton who needed that safety blanket at tight end. Dude, this is an incredible signing. I love what Hayden Hurst has the ability to do in this offense. Instantly better than both Ian Thomas and a very young Tommy Tremble, without question.
I want to make a couple of parallels. I kind of teased it at the beginning of the game or the show. So number one, this is our first year under Frank Reich, and I'm not saying we want the trajectory to go the way that it did in the past, but this is our first year under Frank Reich. All right, what did we do under the first year under Ron Rivera? We got a quarterback by drafting number 1 in the NFL, right? So we got Cam Newton. Now we're going to be drafting number 1, and we potentially are going to be getting a quarterback. We know we're getting a quarterback, period, right? So not only that, in that same year, they got Greg Olsen. They got Greg
And
Olsen.
Shockey.
Well, yeah, exactly. And but Greg Olsen's the one that I think is we're all going to remember. But nonetheless, we got Greg Olsen. All right. Now, we also take into account when Cam came, we actually had our O-line pretty well shored up with Jordan Gross and Ryan Khalil, with a couple of other people in the middle, but the cornerstones for our entire offense was really in place, right? You had a decent receiving core. Steve Smith was here, but it wasn't outside of that. It wasn't anything to write home about. It wasn't like an incredible situation. And our running back room was pretty fire. We had the double trouble, if you will, D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart was struggling to stay a little healthy, but nonetheless, that's what Cam Newton came into. This is almost identical to the situation that our new rookie quarterback is going to be coming into, minus the Steve Smith, which sucks that we had to get rid of DJ Moore for this. But right now, you cannot ask for a better situation for a quarterback to be coming into as a rookie, to have a tight end that's going to have some experience in the league. Not only just a tight end. Greg Olsen was largely considered an underperforming tight end in this league until he came here. Hayden Hurst has been largely considered maybe a bit of an underperforming tight end. And that's not to say that we are hoping that he does bad or that we think he's going to be the Greg Olsens of the world, but I'm just saying that the parallels are clear, that there might be a roadmap to how you help a rookie be successful. And I think right now we're on pace to make that a reality for whoever we decide to draft.
Cody, one of the comments just said Miles Sanders isn't Christian McCaffrey, but it made me think of this, where I was already thinking of it. If you add D-Hop to this offense, are you really missing anything from last year? Are you missing like a
dude.
single? Is there anything? Are you gonna be like,
No.
oh well, we missed DJ Moore? I wish we would have had DJ Moore instead of DeAndre Hopkins. I wish we would have had Ian Thomas instead of Hayden Hurst. I wish we would have had Dante Foreman instead of Miles Sanders. Maybe
No,
people would
man.
say that.
No,
But
listen.
I think like D-Hop makes this like everybody has to we just have to be quiet.
Well, listen, man. Everybody knows as a Clemson diehard, my cripple ass would jump up and do a backflip if we signed DeAndre Hopkins. I would be absolutely pumped with that. But listen, man, if we're talking about Miles Sanders, look, he's 25 years old.
25.
Yeah, 25 years old. And he is going to account for $10 million less dollars than Christian McCaffrey would have counted toward the cap this year for the Carolina Panthers. And Miles Sanders was a top 5 running back last year for the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe he had somewhere around 1,300 rushing yards. I believe he had 11 touchdowns. This man was able to put up numbers with the Philadelphia Eagles. And keep in mind, the Carolina Panthers have their entire offensive line under contract. From left tackle to right tackle, everyone is under a contract. We have our offensive line solidified right now, and we were able to break records last year with Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. Miles Sanders is a fantastic addition to this Carolina Panthers offensive backfield. He is a burner. He's very nimble, very shifty as a running back. And again, he's $10 million cheaper than Christian McCaffrey. I don't know what more you could want from a running back signing, man.
I tried to tell you guys that. Well, I tried. It's not like I mentioned Miles Sanders earlier. This was a few weeks ago. And people are like, nope, we can't afford him. We can't afford him. But we went, and so I just forgot. I just kind of forgot about it. And then somebody, look, I was hanging out with my buddy, and I checked Twitter, and I think it was Chad Morales or somebody, the faithful.
Mm-hmm.
And they tagged us on Twitter, and they said, we got Sanders. And I was like, Sanders who? I was thinking, is there a wide receiver named Sanders? I was like, oh, Miles Sanders. Then I looked up his age. Here's my not a hot take. It's the C3 take. It's Tony's take. I think Miles Sanders can be a better running back in Carolina than he could be with Philadelphia. And what I mean by that is that it's kind of like when you had Cam Newton. You're running back second fiddle. I don't think Miles Sanders was ever really, and we'll have to talk to some Eagles people, but he was always just a kind of a second part of their offense, a third part of their offense, a piece. And he was a really good player sitting there that probably could get a little bit more use. But you know what? When you get to the 5-yard line, you're getting Jalen Hurts busy. You know what I'm saying? Is that like the offense, they run the ball. They have if you think about how many running plays you have in a game, say there's 25, right? And your quarterback gets 8 of them, and then you split the rest of them with the other guys. I just think he could have an opportunity in Carolina to be more productive than he was in Philly. And I'm not trying to knock his play in Philly, nor am I trying to say they misused him, but that's just kind of the way that system rocks at that point. Miles Sanders right here could all of a sudden be kind of a star in Carolina, like a real featured back where he's out there 3 downs, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. And by the way, I just want to give everyone a heads up for all the Deontay Foreman fans that wanted to see Foreman back with the Carolina Panthers. That's still a possibility, y'all. It really is. Joe Person puts out Panthers have not completely ruled out bringing Deontay Foreman back per the league source with knowledge of the situation. So we'll see. Double trouble redo. So again, Miles Sanders doesn't even prevent us from bringing back Foreman if that's what fans wanted to see. There's a lot of options. Look, man, maybe I'm being a Homer fan. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic. But if you're going to ask me, I think Federer has shown himself to be one of the most promising general manager
Oh my
prospects
gosh.
in the NFL right now. And I will fight you, Tony Dunn. Everything that he has done recently and the amount that he was able to get for the number 1 overall pick, I personally think we got the better of the Chicago Bears in the trade for the number 1
I agree.
overall pick.
I'm with you on that.
We've gotten really good players on decent contracts, on cheaper contracts. That shows that the Carolina Panthers still have that culture that people want to be a part of, that family atmosphere that feels like this organization is investing not just in football players, but great men that are going to represent the Carolinas. I'm fucking pumped, Tony Dunn, and I don't mind telling you, buddy.
Can we get a whoop whoop? You guys are doing awesome. That is Orange Jelly Ninja with a $5.25 love bomb to the C3 Panthers podcast. Thank you so much for your support. You can support the show by smashing the thumbs up button, considering being a C3 super fan. It's a small way to give a little bit to help us continue to grow. We've been rocking, dude. We're already at 5,100 subscribers on YouTube when we just hit 5,000. Now we are climbing like the Carolina Panthers. And I tell you this, when it comes to these moves right here, I feel like the Carolina Panthers want to win sooner than later.
Yeah.
And when we go back to Scott Federer, Cody, I think this is that a lot of people in this world we want confirmation bias, right? So if we believe this is how I feel like you are about a couple of players, particularly like a Terrace Marshall Jr., which I'm rooting for all these guys.
Shy Smith, baby. Let's go.
It's confirmation
I'm not
bias.
him,
So like whenever something, you believe something was going to happen. So when you get signals that that's going to happen, that you are going to hone in on that. It's a natural kind of human component, I'm sure, particularly in debates and when you're putting predictions forward. So I'm sure that we're all looking in ourselves for some confirmation bias when it comes to different parts of this team. I was a little wary of, again, I said Scott Federer. I thought he was a wet noodle. I was a little wary that people were too early impressed by the Moneyball moves. Like, oh, we're going to move around the draft and acquire capital. Remember his first draft? They did a real good job of like getting these extra picks. And I thought, oh, I bought into it real quick too. And then we squandered all those picks for like Stephon Gilmore and we really spent them too easily. I thought we would be in this draft right now with like 200 picks and we could do whatever the fuck we want. So I've been trying to be cautious, though, about Scott Federer. And right now, I guess at the end of the day, what we're going to try to figure out is, have the chains been freed? Is he a prisoner on parole? Did he get the ankle bracelet taken off when Matt Rule left? And Tepper and Riker, Frank Riker, let's do this the right way and give us what you got. Make shit happen. And I think that right now, these offensive signings say, yes, the bracelet's been taken off, Cody, trading up to number 1. You know what I think will determine it is how this defense looks. This defense looks next year with Tuttle and the Von Bell and how the scheme works in the transition. If they hit on this defense, if Giro Evero can smash and be what people think he is, right?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, we're gonna next year, 1 year from now, we'll be like Scott Federer, best GM in the world, best GM in the
I mean,
fucking
dude,
world.
I'm already saying it, man. What do I need to wait another year for,
But the
dude? Look,
defense, I've been trying to just pivot to the discussion of the defense. Look, Hayden Hurst, good pick. Miles Sanders, talented. What we're gonna have to start doing is looking at the numbers to see how expensive this is. Right now, we're just continuing to look at how is the Panthers defense going to be because they're fraudulently good. I'm sorry, they're a fraudulently good defense. They're pretty good. Brian Burns, he can be a star, but we got to put somebody beside him. Frankie Louvu, that's my dude. But other than that, there's a lot of injuries. They haven't been. They're good. They're very good. They're better than average. I don't know if they can be a top 10 defense and you do this to the offense, Cody, we're going to be cooking, bro.
we are gonna be cooking, man. And listen, even the smaller name signings that people don't think a lot about early on, they end up meaning something, man, including the Panthers signing defensive tackle Deshaun
When
Williams
did this
to
happen?
the team. This happened today. He played under Jero Vero in Denver. And listen, he may not be the player that I had in mind, but we finally got a Clemson player coming home to the Carolina Panthers, baby. Let's go. I love it. Deshaun Williams. Look, man, I think Federer is putting us in the right position to fill necessary holes in free agency. And I mean, really trying to fill some big time talent gaps in the draft coming up here next month. You know, I don't know what kind of receiver signing we're going to make. Adam Thielen had a workout today with the Carolina Panthers, but left town without a deal, although there is still mutual interest.
Did he have a workout or a meeting?
Well, from what I originally saw, it was a workout,
See,
but
I'm just seeing meetings. So if this guy just showed up in sweatpants, I'm not really upset that they let him leave entirely. Like,
well,
is
but
that
he's
like,
not out of the possibility yet. There is still a chance that we could sign him, and there
when
is
he
still
left, do you think that
mutual
it's more or
interest.
less? Last night you said this on the show. You said like there's a good chance they don't let him leave. Now that he's left, does that signal to you? And I'm not disagreeing with you with that he's still a possibility.
Right.
But where do you think what is this? Where are the tea leaves? Where are the chicken bones sending us on this?
Well, if you've been following the tea leaves on Twitter, you knew that the Panthers were making room to sign someone. They cleared some money and they restructured Johnny Hecker's contract to free up a little bit more money. So you knew that they had some ideas in mind as to some players that they wanted to sign very shortly after you hear the news of the Miles Sanders signing, which was a big deal. I still think that they could trade for either a DJ Chark or Brandon Cooks, as we talked about last night. But look, the name that everybody wants to hear is DeAndre Hopkins. You mentioned it at the start of the podcast. I don't know how likely it is at this point in time, but if the Carolina Panthers could get a type of receiver talent like a DeAndre Hopkins, man, this team is ready to hit the ground running with the number one overall draft pick in a way that I don't think any other team that has ever been picking number one has been in the position to do. I mean, really have upgraded.
CK said this last night.
Yeah, man. But when you look at the offensive line and the moves that we've made with offensive firepower with Sanders and Hurst, man, if you add one more high-end wide receiver to this core, dude, the Panthers are ready to hit the ground running.
Or just pretty good. They don't even have to be like right now. Again, as I saw this Miles Sanders signing to me today, Hayden Hurst signaled to me that the Panthers want to win sooner than later. But I don't think this is a false confidence, CK. If you look at these deals, the guys that they brought in today, they are all multi-year deals,
Right.
3-year, 4 years. And what that signals to me, and I don't know how you guys are reading or if anybody else that's listening that this struck something to you guys, is that if we're just like, oh, we want to be competitive next year, we want to get some guys we can make it work, and then we're really going to institute our plan. We're 1 and 2 year dealing dudes, right? It's like this right here says that not only are we bringing you in, but we believe in you as a player to a certain extent. We believe you could be part of this beyond just 1 year, and then, oh, you have a good year and then go hit free agency. That's what's exciting to me, CK, is they are building this in like you mentioned last night, in a weird, unprecedented way for having the first pick overall in the NFL draft. You're not supposed to be this optimistic.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, if you have the number 1 pick in the overall in the NFL draft, you're kind of coming from a really hopeless situation, and you're hoping that one person is going to fix it. And so it's rare to see a turnaround after 1 year if you're picking 1 overall. The good news is we didn't earn the number 1 overall pick, right? So this is, again, this is the best way you could possibly see this working out. Like, there is no other scenario that makes this a better, like, this is the best possible situation outside of, the Bills trading up, or like San Francisco 49ers trading up. But like, if you're a rookie and you're about to go to a place, this is the best. Again, I can't stress enough. This is the best situation you can ask for.
Yeah, it's look, as I don't want to, and I know this is the season of optimism for every fan and for myself. Every year I come in here and I'm like, oh man, we got this free agent. It's us. We're gonna be good. Like, this is what's wonderful about competition, is we believe it hasn't happened yet. So we believe there is a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance, but there is something that has been special to me. And I know that sounds so cliche, as I've just been trying to diminish it. But like, look, is we finally got all the things I've been asking for. It's like, we got an offensive coach, but we got a guy who's got a lot of experience. He's brought in all these young and older guys. Like, I feel great about the people that are planning my vacation. It's like when I go, it's like if like my wife, she plans my vacation, I'm like, we're going to be good. We're going to have a great place to stay. We're going to have shit to do all the time. She's going to make, the worst part about it is it's going to be too prepared. Right. But if I planned your vacation, you'd be like, oh, damn, Tony, just hoping that we're just all going to have the personality to make this work.
We have the right person making the schedule for us.
Yes.
With this front office, man.
And then now we're getting a quarterback. Now we're getting players that are, I guess do you have more concerns right now about this offense or this defense?
Well, listen, I think the only answer right now, well, I don't know. I mean, you could obviously have a bunch of questions about both. This is going to be something that we're going to continue to talk about for a while. But listen, man, hey, I want to read some super chats from these diehard C3 Panther podcast fans. By the way, 388 people watching right now. Hit that like and subscribe. We definitely appreciate you. White Chocolate Espresso, he said, I got my wish. Now D-Hop for Cody. Let's go, baby. Come on, man. Bring DeAndre Hopkins back home to the Carolinas. I need this in my life, man. I would be so damn happy. Make it happen, Federer. I wouldn't ask for nothing ever again in my life. I'll be a good boy the rest of my life. Keep pounding forever, baby. Let's go. David Screws, I want to apologize. We missed your super chat last night. There's always a bunch of stuff going on. We always try and get to every super chat. But David Screws with the $5 says, look at when Greg was with Chicago. He had similar numbers when he was drafted. out of Chicago. Love it also, Cody. Appreciate you, David. I believe you read
Oh,
this
that's
one
a
from
great one. That's a
yeah, I
great
kn-
one. I like
yeah,
that a
man.
lot. Because too, there are players that you expect. The reason people don't love Hayden Hurst right now is because he had so much fanfare coming out of college. Like everybody thought, like, oh, he's going to be this immediately, and he wasn't that. And it just was like, so sometimes when you don't meet, that doesn't mean they're not going to be it. We might get them at the best time.
Yep. And we already read this, but Orange Jelly Ninja gets another whoop whoop for the $5.25 love bomb. And then Vietnam 26 says, I've never seen us go this hard in the off season. Hey, baby, it's a new day in Carolina for these Carolina Panthers. We're doing big things, man. We're being aggressive in the draft. We're being aggressive in free agency. I love it so far, man. Listen, we've all said our piece on David Tepper throughout the season. He made his comments about basement fans. But, dude, what have you done for me lately? And I'm telling you, David Tepper has lit a fire under the ass of everyone in the front office of the Carolina Panthers organization. And we are making moves right now. Let's go, boys. I'm fucking pumped.
We're about to take some calls. We got a couple of calls in the hole, 252-228-5098. We want to get your thoughts on these additions. Cody, when it comes to David Tepper, I've been everybody's been high and low on him. Not everybody, but I was very critical of him in the past year, particularly in this one press conference where he just threw a Tepper tantrum, right? The one thing I started to not secretly, but be concerned about is he kind of a billionaire who's going to be unmanageable? And what I mean by that is like, yeah, you did this great 10 years ago, Pops, and you're a billionaire now, but now we're like we're all scared. Like he can do whatever he wants because he's so rich. And then is that like a problem? Like, does that become a detriment? Is it the glass onion kind of shit where it's like, oh, I'm like, oh, because I could do this and I made all this money, then I can do everything very well.
Right.
I would say this is that like he pivoted really well from a failure.
Yeah.
This past year is that and I was worried with that press conference where he really got upset and he was lashing out at the media a little bit that he had fired Rule. I was like, oh shit, this man's so and I didn't know how he was gonna. Maybe that was embarrassment to the point of failure was the embarrassment because he really pivoted, dude. He went 1A, like he's like a different. I would argue is that failure. Sometimes failures break you. This guy, I would say this one, he's improved. He's improved from what happened. He learned.
And dare I say, you don't become a billionaire without learning how to deal with failure. You just don't. But you know,
but sometimes when you get so rich, Cody, it becomes about you. Maybe it's not richness. You know what I'm saying? When you reach a celebrity moment where what made you is it's like it's the Greek, what do they call it? The Greek tragedy. The very thing that made you great turns out to be your demise. And I was starting to worry that we were on the demise side.
Right. But if you're going to be successful in life, I feel like part of what goes into that is admitting when you're wrong and realizing that whatever the hell you're doing now isn't producing the results that you're wanting to. And listen, kudos to David Tepper. You know, we obviously feel like we wasted some years with Matt Rule. I don't even want to say that name because we're feeling so damn good right now. But David Tepper learned his lesson that you can't have a college coach be the de facto, supreme ruler of the Panthers organization, making every single decision from a front office perspective. He has learned his lessons, and since then, he has adjusted in a big-time way. I will reiterate, the Panthers coaching staff right now has 11 Super Bowl rings amongst them. from top to bottom. We have premier NFL talent evaluators making decisions on the quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs. I mean, we finally have the guys in position to finally make the best decisions for the Carolina Panthers. And listen, you have to give credit to David Tepper for understanding the mistakes that he made, adjusting and pivoting to something better. Because from this time last year, what the Panthers are doing now, from who we were this time last year, it feels like night and day difference, man. It's like a completely different team. The optimism is at an all-time high right now. And the proof is in the pudding, Tony. We have 379 people watching us right now. Panthers fans are pumped. Are you talking? You're muted.
I was talking, but you couldn't hear me. The number is 252-228-5098. Let's take a couple of calls, Cody.
Yeah, let's do that. 252-228-5098. Let your voice be heard.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Yo, what's up? It's Juan, your boy from North Charleston, South Carolina. Just want to say, wow. Just wow. Amazing 3 days of free agency. And we thought we would be best be quiet as always, signing these bargain bad players or kind of prime to bad players, like not bad, but some, like you're up there, but in the A stuff. But we did it smart at the time. We got firepower coming from the left and right now. Oh my God, I'm so happy with this. Right now, all these signees, including the Andy Dalton news we got tonight. The first, let's talk about tonight. Oh my God, Miles Sanders goes from playing Super Bowl to probably playing another one soon. A couple years down the road with another team that can give him more fun running the ball at the middle stuff, and to the left, to the right stuff, outside, you name it. And we added Hayden, Hurst, and Deshaun Williams tonight. I mean, dude, those are steals. We stole 3 weapons in one day. I was expecting all this signees in one day, but then yesterday, and day 4, this has the opportunity to become a dynasty team for the next 5 years down the road. We can keep these players after these couple or 1, 2, or 3 years. So what's next? What do you do now? Do we trade to 2 or 3 and get a quarterback and then get another pick and draft a wide receiver or tight end in the first round to come join our tight end stuff? Or do we just draft the quarterback and just rate out into round 2 and get a wide receiver of Josh Downs from North Carolina or the guy from Ohio State, that guy, something Smith maybe? Or how y'all feel about the signees right now? Out of A to F, I'll give this an A. If we get 2 more signees, then it might be A+. I just want to know what y'all think about that, and y'all have a good night. Ciao.
Jose, appreciate your call, man. I mean, listen, I still believe that the Panthers need to add a proven outside threat at receiver. Be that DeAndre Hopkins, be that Odell Beckham Jr. I know people flinch when they hear Odell Beckham, but dude, I'm just talking about the talent of the ball player. I think the Panthers have a tight enough organization to be able to offset whatever kind of diva attitude Odell Beckham Jr. might have. Go get another high-end wide receiver prospect. And then, Tony and CK, that sets us up to go best player available at pick number 1 and pick number 39. If that 39th pick ends up being another edge defender to complement Brian Burns, wonderful. If it ends up being a wide receiver prospect like a Zay Flowers or a Josh Downs, even a Jackson Smith and Jigba, who knows if he might fall to the second round or not, that would be a fantastic option. So many options are available. I just feel like if you sign another high-end wide receiver prospect, that would be the cherry on top of a brilliant free agency for the Carolina Panthers. Another name that has been mentioned because of his ties to Frank Reich, it's been rumored on Twitter that maybe the Panthers are interested in Paris Campbell from the Indianapolis Colts. To me, is more of a number 2 wide receiver.
No,
Kind
it's
of
a three. It's a 3. You know, we had a guest. Remember, we had a guest that came on and talking about, or at least maybe, no, he didn't ever get to make it on the show. And he had made a video and he showed it to me. And he's a Colts guy. And he talked about how important Paris Campbell was to Frank Reich's offense. But it was that type of player as you set things up. You go get Paris Campbell and you're not any better than you are right now, really. It's like you are a little bit. It's kind of like getting Rodgers wants Randall Cobb. Like, it doesn't make you better, but Randall Cobb's probably going to be like your assistant teacher in the receiver room for Aaron Rodgers. I think this is at the end of the day, we know this. The Carolina Panthers cannot walk into training camp with a rookie that they drafted in the second round, Terrace Marshall Jr. and Shi Smith and Laviska Shenault. That would be some ballsy ass shit to do. I think they could draft a player in the second, a wide receiver, but they still, I think some veteran is inevitable. It's inevitable to get a guy that is maybe past a Thielen, a Brandon Cooks. You know what I'm saying? That you can't. It would be malpractice. Look, they are setting this rookie quarterback up to make it not easy, but possible for him to succeed. You're trying to tell me now they're going to be like, oh, we're going to bank everything on Terrace Marshall Jr. and Shi Smith.
Yeah, but probably not, right? I mean,
they have to. No, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of who. And I think Odell Beckham, I don't think it's the diva part that's the problem, man. I think it's the diva part and that he's always fucking hurt.
I mean, yeah, but if you're able to sign him, but I mean, reasonably,
let me give you a name. Let me give you a name.
But listen, if you're able to sign Odell Beckham Jr. to a reasonable contract worth 2 or 3 years, also knowing that you do have Terrace Marshall Jr., you do have, Shi Smith, as much as you might want to hate on Tony, you do have the opportunity to draft some wide receiver help. Like, I mean,
what if Shi Smith gets hurt? Deal? What if he's not even good? What if he gets hurt? What if he's bad and hurt?
You could literally say that about anyone, though. It's football. Anyone can get hurt at any moment. But right now, the Panthers need a receiver that can create separation in press man coverage. And listen, I still feel like Odell Beckham Jr. could do that. I know people are worried about him being a diva.
He's too expensive. Expensive hurt. Go ahead, CK.
I'll say this about OBJ. Number one, I almost feel like we can go ahead and remove this from reality because one of two things is going to be real. And it's similar to a lot of these people that are probably still waiting to get a contract is either they're going to go to a place that is a contender for a Super Bowl, which means it's going to have an established quarterback, or they're going to go somewhere. And so for instance, let's talk about Darius Slay for 2 seconds. Darius Slay has been linked to wanting to go to the Falcons. And my argument with Darius Slay going to the Falcons is he is not interested in the Falcons. Now, I'm not saying those reports are inaccurate. He's not interested in the Falcons. He's interested in how much cap room they have, right? So Odell Beckham Jr. is not going to be going about his free agency looking for a team that is about to have a rookie quarterback and give them a team-friendly deal. That's just not going to happen.
The name, no one's here is going to like it. They're going to love me, though, later if it happens. Allen Robinson.
I don't know, man.
He was super productive in Jacksonville and Chicago. He went with a lot of they paid him a lot of money with the Rams. And I know everybody loves fucking Sean McVay and all of this, but the Rams offense is just fucking Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp. That's it. That is fucking it. And look, people are like, oh, Austin Eckler could be a great running back. Like, oh, there's nobody is good in the Rams offense except for Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson, and I'm not saying he's going to be great, but look, been in the league for a minute, big bodied, tall enough. Like, so it's like, all right, so yeah, you don't have the step that you used to have, like Thielen, right? But you are savvy enough, you're experienced enough to win in the NFL. And you're not paying top dollar. He got paid top dollar twice. He got paid top dollar by Chicago. He got paid top dollar by the Rams. Now we get to swoop in. I think Thielen would be more expensive than Allen Robinson. Put it down. That's the name I want.
So, by the way, I put a poll in the chat. Who is the most likely free agent addition at wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers? Adam Thielen, DeAndre Hopkins, or Odell Beckham Jr. And again, this is off the mindset that we're going to go for one of the more touted names still available in free agency. So vote in that poll. Tell us what you think. I mean, listen, you all know who I'm hoping for, man. And listen, damn it, I can hope for something. You know, maybe it doesn't happen, fine. But I'm going to hope for D-Hop, man. Having the opportunity to have either of a young Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud throwing you the football, I think he's just what the doctor ordered for a young, burgeoning quarterback. So I would love that pick. But I'm going to be honest with you. Adam Thielen, to me, is not just a consolation prize. As you mentioned last night, Tony, he has a ton of production from the slot, from outside. The man can do it all. And right now, there's still a chance that we might sign him. When it comes to Allen Robinson, I don't know. I haven't watched him enough in recent years to really have a strong opinion.
He had a bad year last year. It was a nothing.
Yeah,
It was a nobody with the Rams.
It was like, the Rams were a bad team most of the year last year. So it's kind of hard to gauge when you don't necessarily have a bunch of talent around you. I wouldn't hate it.
It's just going to be cheaper than D Hopkins. I think he might still be under contract. So I'm not entirely sure about that, but like it would be cheaper than Brandon Cooks. It would be cheaper than DeAndre Hopkins.
Are you okay? But
be cheaper than Adam Thielen, and really very comparable. This dude is a fucking beast.
But listen, would you not be willing to pay someone, even though he might be more expensive? Would you all not be willing to pay someone on the talent level of a DeAndre Hopkins? Keep in mind, last year, even after missing 6 games, he had over 700 yards and was still on track for over 1,000.
I know. He's a next level. Like, he's not done.
Right.
He
but
is
like,
not done.
Are any of us going to whine and moan and complain if we sign a slightly expensive contract for DeAndre Hopkins?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I will complain if we do a slightly expensive contract to Thielen, though.
I agree with the Thielen one. I'd be also slightly upset if we gave us an overly expensive contract to OBJ.
Agreed. I would rather for us to pay $3 million over what we would pay somebody else, I guess, or more. And look, Hopkins has never been bad, ever.
Never
been bad. Like, and even when people said he was losing a step, he wasn't.
No.
He was. Maybe it's a little bit different. He's kind of, who he reminds me a lot of is another Arizona Cardinal receiver. Fitzgerald. Isn't that wasn't that his name?
Yeah, but I
Larry.
think he probably
Larry
has a little.
and I'm not talking about only the game. I'm talking about this.
Right.
Is Fitzgerald was a guy in his career, Cody, before like when you were a baby. That
I
he
remember
was
watching Fitzgerald. Damn it, I'm not.
no.
that young.
I'm talking about when he was at his peak. He
Yeah.
was,
in the
like it was just like he could do everything. It was like this. It was like it was just give him the ball. He's gonna get 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game, like what D. Hopkins was when he was in Houston. But what Fitzgerald did later in his career was still be a very formidable presence on the field in a different way. Like it's like, okay, we're not just gonna go to you 12 times a game and just know that you're gonna win it by yourself. But and I see that with DeAndre Hopkins, is like, all right, is like he's big, like he just tracks the ball so well. He does like it's like
everything.
Yeah, it's like, so what? He's not the fastest dude in the league anymore. This motherfucker has been great. The only stain on him is the fantasy football crew wanted to give up on him too early. Wait, you started playing fantasy football recently. Fantasy football people color the way we think of players because they're always trying to forecast someone's explosion and demise ahead of everybody else. So they're like, oh, he's losing. Now they added this other receiver and they're going to be like this. And it's going to be like, and they're always dissecting all this shit to the craziest degree. It's those people and he missed a couple of games with the PED stuff. He's still good, bro.
He is, man. And like I said, he missed 6 games last year and still had over PEDs. 700 yards, man. Like this dude is a number 1 wide receiver. I know he's getting older. I know he's got some mileage on him, but as you said, Tony, he has never not been a good receiver in the NFL.
I would say great. He's never not been great.
Dude, he has been a top 5, maybe even a top 3 receiver in the NFL for the past 5 years running. Like the dude has been absolutely insane.
We should congratulate him. Not congratulate him. Maybe we don't think about being that great of a player and the teams you play for are fucking the Texans and the Cardinals. He hasn't been a problem.
No,
and what I mean by that is like a locker room. He hasn't been a presence where like it's like you never hear like, oh well, the Cardinals drafted receivers, so DeAndre Hopkins is fucking freaking out. Like DeAndre Hopkins walks around knowing he's the big dude. He's the big dog.
He is, man.
He's the guy.
He is.
He's the belle of the ball.
The big question is
the ball.
How much would he be willing to have a rookie quarterback throwing him the football? Because that is what's going to happen. I mean, we signed Andy Dalton, but that's our backup quarterback. And Andy Dalton is not intended to be the starter for the Carolina Panthers next year.
But what else does he have the choice? He's coming off of a Kyler Murray and an injured Kyler Murray and a new coaching staff.
How about this?
With the best defensive coach. So, like, who is the best place for him other than Carolina?
Well, how about this? We're the best option in the NFC. Like, what other NFC team? No, man. I mean, okay, yeah, you hear the Cowboys, and yeah, they're loaded, but DeAndre Hopkins means more to a Carolina Panthers offense than he would to a Dallas Cowboys offense.
The Cowboys offense, him and CeeDee Lamb would be nasty, bro.
Right, but that's my point, though. There are going to be
he needs to go to the Cowboys. That would be a better move.
No, there are going to be other options with the Cowboys that would demand just as many touches as him. Whereas if DeAndre comes to Carolina, he is the number 1 wide receiver and the safety blanket for whatever quarterback we end up drafting. I mean, look, we're going to be able to have this conversation forever.
This is a conversation I want to have right this second as we play the next call. I don't want to just be a Panther homer here.
Right.
is that if I want to try to look at this a little bit from DeAndre Hopkins' perspective, because I think everybody here is completely on board that if DeAndre Hopkins came out as the name tomorrow, that the Carolina Panthers, I would be more excited. All right, so think of tomorrow, hypothetical tomorrow. It's not hypothetical. Tomorrow, I believe, will happen. I believe tomorrow is going to happen. But tomorrow, the news breaks that the Carolina Panthers have found some way to acquire DeAndre Hopkins, option A. Option B, DJ Shark. Option C, Adam Thielen. And option D, do you guys got a D?
Chosen Anderson.
No, Allen Robinson, my guy, Allen Robinson. I know Allen Robinson's going to lose this poll, but which option would be where you would be like, oh, yeah. DeAndre Hopkins news is greater than DJ Shark news.
Oh, dude, how about this? There is no other bigger news that could happen for the Panthers in free agency this year. Really? I mean,
no. That's what I wanted to add to the list. I'm not saying. I'm sorry. I was just the list. The list is DeAndre Hopkins, Odell, DJ Shark, Thielen, and then Allen Flyer, McCole Hardman, Allen Robinson, or something.
No, I hear you. Hey, I wanted to make sure that we got these out. Little Ninjas 24 says this is the first free agency that I like since forever. LOL with a $2 love bomb. Appreciate you, Ninjas. And then Real AP says, Cody, how you feel if we give Jacksonville the number 1 pick for Trevor?
Oh,
my brother, we would have to give them.
I love this comment. The Real AP.
We would have to give him
the fucking bomb,
5
bro.
number 1 overall picks in order to get Trevor Lawrence.
Oh my god, LMAO. Oh my god, LO.
Dude, hey, real OG C3 Panther fans, remember when I did an entire presentation on giving up 2 entire years worth of draft picks for Trevor Lawrence, man.
Would you do it right now, though? Would you give, if Jacksonville said yes, straight up, Trevor Lawrence, and he's got, 3 more years on his deal?
This will be his 3rd year this year.
Trevor Lawrence for the first round pick, I would say yes. Right away.
Yeah, probably so.
And I don't even like Trevor Lawrence.
Would too. You do.
I don't even like him.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
No, he's better
No,
than
you do.
He's better than
No,
average. Not great.
He's way better than average.
He said I would give the first round overall pick or the first overall pick for him, but he's average. He's better than average.
He is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For average,
he's an average first round. He's an average first overall pick. How about I'll put it that way?
No, dude, he's way fucking better
I'd
than you're
rather have
making
Joe
him out
Burrow.
to be. What? I mean,
I'd
hey,
rather have Burrow.
you're entitled to that opinion. If you
Would you rather have Herbert or Burrow? Would you rather have? Would you rather have Burrow or Lawrence? They're both first number 1s. They're you're like, look, CK.
No, shut up. You're not moving me off of my spot,
come on, you gotta be on my side this one, CK. Did you hear that?
Would I rather have Burrow or what was it?
Trevor Lawrence. And he picked Trevor Lawrence because he can't
yet.
Yes, you can't do it yet.
I can't do it
yet.
yet.
No, we have to do it now. We have to pick Burrow over Lawrence. This is just Cody dying on the fucking hill, bro.
I can't give the nod to Trevor Lawrence just yet in this part of his career.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go to the next call. The number's 252-228-5098. So, you know what? Shame CK for playing video games while he does our podcast.
What?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Evan again. Hope you guys are all having a good night.
What's up, Evan?
Very happy with the signings from today. I mean, the past few days, I've been seeing it on Twitter. People are saying Scott's been cooking, and he has. Miles Sanders is a really good signing. He's not. I would say we could still go out and get a power back, like people are saying we could still get Dante Foreman. But I'm really excited. I still think we should go out, even with all this money we've spent, and go out and get a guy like Nico Hardman or DJ Chark. And I'm really hoping we do still. But also we go and probably address receiver at pick 39, or even trade up into like the late first and see if anybody drops. Probably not, though. Stay at 39 and see if any of the wide receivers drop. But yeah, let me know what you guys think and keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Love it, man. Thank you for the call. Thank you so much. You guys can support the show by smashing the thumbs up button, checking us out on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, the audio podcast. We don't put every broadcast on the audio version just because some of the Friday free for all, they're like, you need to be part of that. But don't forget, we're here every day for you guys in some capacity. That's weird. Let's go to the next call.
C3 Panther Nation. What's good? Hey, we got Garnet Thor back in the Carolinas. Yo, Federer, hey, Cody, I said it, I want to say last Friday, that I said, watch Federer fuck around and bring in Hurst and go out and get Newt.
Hey, he did say that.
I'm hyped as hell. So for those who aren't aware, I'm a Gamecock fan. So I watched Hayden Hurst in college. I don't know too many tight ends that your star player, Deebo Samuel at the time with the Gamecock, he gets injured. You know what the Gamecocks were calling up? A lot of the players where they were like, hey, just get the ball in the Deebo's hands, jet sweeps and things of that nature. Hayden Hurst was the dude that they went to. I don't know how many teams are calling jet sweeps and things of that nature for a tight end. And you can go back and watch the highlights. Man was actually getting loose too. Bro, if when I stand here and I say Hayden Hurst has that Greg Olsen, that Kittle, the dude can block. He's a damn good blocker. He's a damn good pass catcher. For those who might be curious as to why I call him Garnet Thor, there's a one-handed catch he had in college where it looked like homie was summoning the football the way Thor summons Mjolnir. Like the ball comes, one hand, snatch, and he's off to the races. He ain't no bobbling, no nothing. I'm hyped as for Federer. Hey, just go ahead and bring
go,
JD. Do Cody a solid, do the team a solid, do the fan base a solid. Go ahead and just whatever it is, go ahead and bring Nuke in, bro. I'm hyped as fuck. We got Hurst, we got Hayden Hurst. So whomever our starting QB is, he's gonna have a solid. I mean, Hurst has Olsen-like potential, man. I mean, man let's go. Let's go. Football season couldn't get here quick enough, man. Let's go.
Let's go. Keep pounding, baby. Let's go. I love it. Dude, Hayden Hurst has a ton of potential. And it's a 3-year deal, y'all. So this is something that we should, it's not like a 1 year, one-off
That's what I'm saying.
deal. Yeah, this is somebody who is projected to be a meaningful part of our offense for years to come. And I feel like it doesn't get stated enough. We have every single one of our offensive linemen under contract for the foreseeable future. And we had a top 15 offensive line in the NFL last year. We broke some Panthers all-time records rushing the football. The Panthers are doing the damn thing, man. We're in a damn good spot. And listen, I know we're picking number 1 overall because we traded up, but I legitimately think if you look at the landscape of the NFC right now, this Panthers team compares with the very best of them, maybe outside of a proven commodity like the San Francisco 49ers. Outside of a team like that, the Panthers by far have the most potential to make a legitimate push in the NFC South next year.
I'm about to drop the link to my tweet. This is self-promotion, algorithm destroying self-promotion again. I I put this out after I saw the moves we made today. The Panthers are trying to win sooner than later with this rookie QB. Get ready. We are looking to win the NFC South now. I'm not a good viral person. Cody is the viral person when it comes to Twitter. But this joint has been popping. There's 103 likes right now on this tweet. I'm putting it in the chat right now. You guys go smash this. Smash the heart, the like for that tweet. Hit the retweet, quote retweet. Do whatever you want to do when it comes to that. If you believe that the Carolina Panthers are trying to win now, sooner rather than later. Because right now, I don't think that they're folding their cards. I don't think they're folding their cards. Let's go to someone who hates you, Cody.
Uh-oh.
And hates me too. Because I'm he's my bastard son.
Oh,
and he
shit.
doesn't, and boy, you know what is like, imagine this is if he's my bastard son and you're my brother, what does that make you to him?
I'm like your redheaded stepson.
Oh, Greg called it. Three gingers. Greg called it. The Panthers have a fetish.
Yeah,
the
for
gingers. Let's go to my bastard son, aka Cougar fan, Kev.
Hey, it's White Chocolate Espresso. I'm beyond happy. We got Hayden Hurst. So fucking happy. Guys, y'all don't even know. I think this is going to be his breakout year, honestly. So let's think about it. All right. He was drafted in 2018. Guess who else was drafted in 2018 for the Baltimore Ravens at the tight end position? Mark Andrews. They had drafted in the same year. So once Mark Andrews broke out, because Hayden Hurst didn't start any games that rookie year. He played 12 games, but didn't start. So Mark Andrews started some of those and took control of the position and became Mark Andrews, one of the greatest. Okay, so he moves away from Mark Andrews in Baltimore, then goes to Atlanta. He puts up 88 catches for 571 yards and 6 touchdowns. Does great. Phenomenal with Atlanta. Pretty good. I would say pretty good, not phenomenal, but pretty good. But then what happens next year after Atlanta? Atlanta drafts Kyle Pitts, the next big tight end, next great tight end. So guess what? He has to play second fill to Kyle Pitts. Plays that for 1 year. Then, like Cody says, goes to Cincinnati. He has 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 52 catches in 13 games. He's reasonable behind Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So he's always had someone to be there in his way almost. Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, then T. Higgins and, Jamar Chase. So, and we all know that we're going to use the tight end position, unlike what we did under who shall never be named ever once again. True. So Frank Wright's going to use the tight end position. I think he's going to be the tight end one. He might even be the number one target on this team so far. I think he will be. So expecting big things out of Hayden Hurst this year.
Draft him on your fantasy team.
You better believe that.
He is my son. Look, I put up your tweet, Cody. Because of this is your tweet, which we put out probably about the same. You might have put yours out even a hair later than mine about the Panthers are trying to win sooner than later. Mm-hmm. Look at the amount of views you get.
Oh, dude, that ain't shit.
No, but that's
one of my lower
tweet has
performing
108 likes, and it has half the amount of views. You're like a fucking celebrity on Twitter, dude.
I swear to God, I'm not even trying to boast, but the past few days, my fucking Twitter has been blowing up. You know what I'm saying?
Look at this. Look,
follow your boy.
I'm gonna show you my it was like, look, is now we're measuring Twitter dicks right here.
Dude, are you
Um,
saying I have a bigger Twitter dick?
Totally. Look at this.
Okay.
Look at this number right here. This you had 8K, and yours was posted an hour later. Had none of the traction. You know what I'm saying of this, folks. I put the link into my tweet. Help me be my ED medicine for Twitter right now. Guys, Cody rules. Like, you know what? It's wonderful. You're a great part of the show. He's a fan favorite and a Twitter legend at this point. Hayden Hurst, really big addition. Kev is excited. He might be right. Should we be, think of Frank Reich's offense? The tight end has been a position that has not gotten any attention in the offense for the last 3 years.
Right.
Joe Brady's offense. We don't know if it was Baker Mayfield or who was our guy that we were like I already forgot his name.
Sam Darnold.
Our offensive coordinator.
Ben McAdoo.
Yeah, I already forgot his name. Ben McAdoo.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? It's like just didn't feel like ever a part of the plan. Like we don't even know if Ian Thomas and them are as bad as people say they are, or if they're just like
misused
or not used.
And by the way, like we
used.
were just straight up not used, and we've all been very excited about the potential of Tommy Tremble. And I'm not giving up on him yet either. I still think, I choose to believe that we have not seen the best out of Tommy Tremble yet with the Carolina Panthers. But it's just a simple fact. I put the stats up a little while ago. Hayden Hurst almost had the exact same production as the entirety of our tight end room last season. So we have not been a very tight end centric offense. We all had a lot of high expectations for Ian Thomas. He never quite lived up to those expectations. How about Ian Thomas going into his third Panthers head coach? Started with Ron Rivera, went to the Matt Rule regime. Now is still here under Frank Reich. Yeah, man. I mean, it's time to upgrade these positions in a meaningful fashion. And that's what Hayden Hurst represents. And by the way, the NFL Twitter account, I'm not going to post it because, of course, we'll get copyrighted. But they put out a short highlight video of Hayden Hurst and said that the Carolina Panthers just signed the most underrated tight end prospect in the NFL.
I know.
And when you look at what he's been able to do, I mean, listen, the fact that Bengals offense had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Wait, and keep going. Who's the third one?
That's what I'm saying. What's
good.
that guy's name?
The third receiver is. Hold on, he's like
chat will come up with it. Who was that third receiver in the Bengals offense? His name escapes me right now. But dude, they had mouths to feed. Tyler Boyd. Yeah, thank you, Maka the OG. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, they had a lot of different options.
He's straight, bro.
And this man still almost had 500 receiving yards. So he is a premier tight end prospect. And now I legit think he is in a better position to actually utilize his entire skill set here with the Carolina Panthers.
I think it's just wild that, Ian Thomas is the least favorite person among Panther fans, but the favorite person among Matt Rule and all the coaching. Like, Matt Rule went from, I feel like his first season, he threw Ian Thomas under the bus in a press conference or something. And then for the last 2 years, it's been like, oh, Shaq Thompson and Ian Thomas are the guys that I rely, like they're his dudes. Ian Thomas, I know people hate on him. His best year was his rookie year, but he's found a way to ingratiate himself through 3 regimes, like you said.
Yeah. He has. But
right.
hey, what's that saying? What have you done for me lately?
Not enough.
Not enough. I mean, straight
Not
up, not
enough.
enough. And by the way,
We have had the most
even
busted tight ends in the league.
even
If you think about this, dude, other teams, Cody, have really good tight end names. Like it's like, oh, you're like, oh, he's gonna be good. You're gonna have this, you're gonna have this guy, you're gonna have this. And they're not, and they don't ever produce. We had bad names, and we were hoping they would produce. And the guy that I'm trying to think of, he started out in San Diego, or not San Diego. No, he started out with the Chargers, but now in the last year, he was with the Patriots. He was another one of those first round
Hunter
draft.
Henry.
Yes, first round, top
Yeah, I remember
15.
Hunter.
This is the reason we don't draft tight ends, Cody, in the top 25 is because of Hunter Henry. And they don't do shit. That's what I'm saying is like they're the optimal tight end and they don't do shit. And then we're like, oh, we're gonna rock in here with Sullivan, whoever the fuck that is, and Ian Thomas
playing
and
fullback.
now we're trembling. Like it's like, of course you're only gonna have 200 yards from your tight ends collectively.
Yeah,
Hayden Hurst.
but also, like again, just knowing that we're going to be starting a rookie quarterback this year for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, the two best positions that you could add to your team to make that quarterback's life easier is the two signings that we made today: a tight end and a top tier running back.
Yeah.
The tight end's going to be able to not only catch passes, but to be able to be an extra blocker on the line of scrimmage, on goal line situations, be able to get that strong push into the end zone, but also a running back that is shifty, is dependable. He can catch passes. That's another thing we haven't even mentioned. Miles Sanders can catch passes.
Yes. He's he's underused in Philadelphia. Underused.
Yes.
We have to
We don't
add
want
DeAndre
Chuba Hubbard.
Hopkins.
We don't want Chuba Hubbard
Amen.
catching passes anymore. Salute to that, dude. Shout out to Miles Sanders.
We don't want Chuba Hubbard anymore.
I'm not gonna say all that. No,
We don't want Chuba Hubbard. We don't want Chuba Hubbard anymore, is what I would say. I want DeAndre Hopkins right now. I'm on board right now.
Same.
That's the
I
best
don't hate
news.
Don't hate it. I mean, it's just the cost of it. The trade, and on top of that, most likely gonna probably want to rework. I mean, when these trades typically happen, the veteran player typically wants to rework the contract when he goes to a new place. And that would be the other thing that I'd be concerned about, is if that is the case, then that would make this a little bit more rich than I feel like I might be willing to, give up.
No, I hear you.
Anthony, talk to your elders, first of all. Everybody does this. I'm so mad at you, Cody, because you're the celebrity of my own podcast. I go in and I talk on these other podcasts, and they're like, oh, Cody. That must be Cody talking to him. I'm like, man, it's Tony. Anthony said, look, right now, no. So I'll go in and I'll jump in on other people's podcasts, and they see the C3 Panthers podcast, and they're like, oh, it must be Cody talking to her. Like, oh, it's Cody. And then now Anthony's over here saying, play my cool, Anthony. Listen to your elders, Anthony, from one Anthony to another. I don't even know if you're the last. I don't even know if we got your call. We probably played it earlier.
Look, we're definitely gonna play some calls. Let's read the super chat from DJ Carboy with the $4.99 love bomb. Says I would love D Hop, especially with CJ Stroud. Stroud is so accurate, and DJ Hop catches almost everything thrown his way. Scott, get it done. Keep pounding, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you, DJ Carboy. Anthony tuning in with another $2 love bomb.
I was just saying one Anthony to
he
another.
Says, sorry, y'all. It's Tony's podcast, The Profession. Yeah, sometimes Tony gets his ego a little bit hurt, you have to stroke his ego a little bit and say, "We still love you, Professor. You're still the man."
No, he said play
Don't
my
worry."
call. And I'm bad about missing calls. I'm already on guard about that. It's one Anthony to another. Dude, you have again, we need to find a way. Remember, collaboration is the way.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the next call.
Yo,
This
Panthers
ain't
Kingdom
even
podcast, leaving a message. I'm watching the stream currently. Is Miles Sanders the biggest and best trade of the draft so far for us, for our team? I know we got Deshaun Williams, another banger. I think this is our best day of free agency yet. I mean, I don't think it's even close. I mean, what are the Eagles going to have left? Are they even going to make it to the playoff next year? That's something I'd like to hear from y'all. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.
The Eagles did sign back James Bradbury on a very not friendly, but like a deal they needed to do. They lost. Was it Jordan Hargrave? Who was the?
They lost a lot.
Darius Slay, right? Or did he go back?
They released him. They released.
They
They
did?
released Darius Slay. Yeah.
They did. Ooh.
Yeah, but then I thought that he went. Let me look that up.
But here, let's go. What the great part about this is not just limited to the Philadelphia Eagles. You watch the Cincinnati Bengals get poached. We poached one of their players with Von Bell.
Yeah, he's back with Philadelphia. Darius Slay.
He's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Wow.
They just released him, and he did a whole goodbye to him.
I know. He put out back like I never left. Run it back.
Delete my tweet. Do we still got the 30-minute edit? I didn't pay my $7.99 to get my check. Shit. No, the thing that I'm what the call though, even if regardless if Slay and there are players, the best teams get their coaches and players poached from, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a reality of the world. And you see, and I'm not going to put this team ever in the best team category, but we played that Saints fan last night going nuts.
Yes.
Right? It is. In some ways, you have to not just think about the teams that are getting stronger through free agency, but maybe we should consider the teams that are losing in free agency. I think it was Greg or CK that brought this up about the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Is like, does this set them back in free agency as you could be navigating differently? I think I'm trying to figure out if the 49ers downgraded or upgraded. At first, I thought they were getting poached, but now I don't think they are. Like right now, I think the 49ers are just retooling. They said this, Javon Kinlaw wasn't what we thought he was. Let's get Jordan Hargrave. We're going to make the red bearded we're going to unlock Sam Darnold cheat code. We got
I'm
Christian
laugh,
McCaffrey.
By the way, if Sam Darnold comes out and he's just elite, I'm just going to laugh.
If there's one person that can do it, it's Scott. But what I guess my point was just this is we are continuing to look at our team through the additions that are being made. The caller was bringing forth the idea of teams that are losing like attrition. Is like they're just getting weakened because they can't look. They lost Miles Sanders. They lost this. They lost that. I feel like the Saints have been really kneecapped. I'm trying to wonder if any other team. Do you believe that? I don't think that the Eagles are done though. Like they seem to have so much talent still on that team.
The Eagles definitely aren't done.
But I think they're hemorrhaging.
I could see where that thought. I mean, they do have a lot of free agents that, but you think about it. Fletcher Cox just signed another 1-year deal with them. Jason Kelsey just did the same thing. They're not in.
Yeah, they brought back Bradbury. They bring back Slay.
Yeah,
they got I'm just wondering what team has lost the most, and I think the one that comes to mind is the New Orleans Saints, just because we're the ones that fucking been punishing them.
I mean, really, we didn't do
They
much.
didn't win the division, so I don't even want to.
Well,
like, how great could you feel about that?
The Saints signed Jamal Williams to a 3-year deal. This is a running back out of Detroit.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who cares?
Yeah,
he
like,
didn't do shit.
Yeah, that doesn't really do anything to me. Like, so the New Orleans Saints recently just they did a deal with Mike Thomas for him to come back, slant boy. They have Chris Olave. I mean, they've got a few people. Who knows what Alvin Kamara is going
This
to
is
do
the
this
year
for
their
them.
defense steps back, though.
Yeah, but I'm not afraid of them. They're the old man in the division now. They're the old tiger that's all cut up with scars all over them. They're old now.
I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried them at all.
Yeah, the Panthers are a younger, more dominant team. I feel like we're
winning the division. Put your money on it.
Oh, how about this? Wait a minute,
I'll put
Tony.
my money on
Tony,
it right
Tony.
now. We need to go to Vegas and put $100 on the Panthers to win the NFC
You mean
South
you're not
right
afraid
now.
of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with
None.
Baker Mayfield
None.
as their new quarterback, dude? Baker
None.
Mayfield doesn't strike fear into your heart.
Wow.
What are you talking about, dude?
If he fucks us up,
where's all them
I'ma be
Baker
so
Bottoms
mad.
at now, baby? Come on.
well, he's not on my team anymore. I can't fucking cheer for him.
I never could.
Let's go to Anthony. Hold on, I had it queued. Now you guys.
Let's hear it, Anthony.
What is up, C3? It's Anthony from Charlotte.
What's up, Anthony?
Just wanted to call in and talk about these signings, man. First off, I already went over the Von Bell, Bradley Bozeman, Shai Tuttle, but my favorite signing is Miles Sanders. I really like his value, $6 million a year for a 25-year-old running back who's worked with Deuce Staley. I think that's awesome. You're not paying him a crap ton of money, and he's here for the long haul. So that is great. A young, proven running back that you're not overpaying by any means. Fitter, good job. Everyone learned from the CMC mistake. And then, Hayden Hurst, just awesome signing. I watched him a lot on the Bengals. He's a vertical threat. He's got solid hands. He's a physical tight end, and he can still block. There are some really good clips of him blocking. Now, I just want y'all to think about this. In a system where he's considerably the fourth option for Joe Burrow behind Jamar, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, and he still racked up 52 catches for 414 yards. Like, dude, he's probably going to be the second or third option for us. So I love both of these signings, man. I really do. And the D tackle from the Broncos is a good run stopper. I think we're doing the right thing. The only thing I need from this team to do, shout out to Cody, we need to go trade for DeAndre motherfucking Hopkins, baby. That's what we need to do. Give up the second round pick if we have to. Pay him the money, because clearly we have enough to, give out some pretty decent contracts as well. And that's what I want to see. And the Panthers said they're still open to re-signing Donta Foreman, so I would love to have him back as the 1-2 punch. Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
Keep pounding, Anthony. Let's go. Yeah, Foreman could potentially still come back. CK, it feels like right now the biggest fan favorite that fans want to see sign with the Panthers is DeAndre Hopkins. That's the name, man. People want Nuke here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It helps a tremendous amount when you consider his ties or the connection with South Carolina. And let's also keep in mind the pedigree that comes along with that. I mean, this would be a move that would signal to not just Panthers fans, but to the entirety of the NFL that the Panthers are ready to compete this year, right? They made a lot of moves, but I think even with those moves, and I'll put this into perspective. So I don't know how many of you guys pay attention to the media like Pat McAfee, things like that. They go through all of the stuff that happened in the news and all that stuff. And today there was no exception. But same thing with yesterday, no exception, except for the Panthers, because they didn't talk about Hayden Hurst. They didn't talk about Von Bell. They didn't talk about Miles Sanders happened a little after that show aired. But, even those things, they just didn't talk about it. But any other team that had somebody sign, it was on top of it. We're going to be having this bag alert talking about how this person just got signed here and signed there. It's not happening here because nobody's taking this as a serious football program until a big move like DeAndre Hopkins, and we've got our quarterback. So I think right now, DeAndre Hopkins would be a signal for the Panthers being in the mindset of we're competing today. This isn't a rebuild. We are there. We've built, and we're ready to start this franchise off and hopefully bring some championships this way.
Hey, I hear that. Tony, you got a super chat directed towards you. White Chocolate Espresso talking to Anthony. He says, don't listen to a man who abandons his kids, Anthony. Shame on you, Tony. Abandoning your bastard child. Never giving him any love and affection and tender care and warmth. Very sad. You're muted, by the way, I think.
Put me up big screen. Put me on my screen. Put me on the big screen.
Okay. Will do.
Anthony, don't listen. Don't listen to a man who abandoned his child, a Cougar fan, a man who is clearly cut from the same cloth. His DNA may be the same, but I refute his existence. Anthony, don't listen to me, Anthony. Is it Picarillo?
Picarillo, yeah.
Picarillo? I want to hear it, man. I love an Italian kid. Paisan. We got Muscles Marinara that hangs out with us.
Dude.
I love it. You guys are the best. C3 Panthers Podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Smash the thumbs up button. Call in at 252-228-5098. Look, one thing you can do right now, I cannot tell you how much it helps, is to just share the link to the show on your social media. Grab the link to the YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, repost it on Facebook. Drop it in wherever you watch. I mean, I can't, the Reddit. I don't want to say it because people, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let people know we've been rocking every week for 11 years, right?
How about this? We've gained 100 subscribers in the last 2 weeks alone, y'all.
Yes.
C3 Panthers Podcast doesn't stop growing, and it's because of the incredible fan base that we've built up podcasting just like this. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers Podcast goes live. We're here year-round. We take no weeks off, always bringing you Carolina Panther content that you so crave and desire. Whip up on that notification bell like Scott Federer has been whipping up on the free agency period, damn it. We're going places. You know what I'm saying?
I think I've said everything I need to say until we're going to be podcasting tomorrow and on Friday with the Friday free-for-all. We're here all the time. Man, the support tonight on the fly. I messaged the group. I messaged the guys at 9:15 tonight, and I said, should we jump on and talk about this? And like CK goes, what time? I was like, soon, I guess. We all did this. And look, the fact that the three of us are here, that's not the cool part. the coolest part is that there were 400 people here almost tonight.
Yeah, dude.
We love you guys. C3 Panthers Podcast, CarolinaCatChronicles.com. CK's having a baby. We had a baby shower last night for you. Did your wife have anything to say?
Yeah, she asked me all of these different questions about who is this? Who is this? And I'm like,
oh, now we got CK in a divorce. He's like, why are all these girls giving him presents?
We're all these random people giving us things.
So I had to explain to her that I had posted the link on the podcast, and she was thoroughly surprised and very thankful, and just understand anybody who happened to help out and purchase something from that registry link we had on the show last night. We will be getting you guys a thank you note, and so on and so forth. So I do appreciate everybody again that had the ability to help, and those who are even have the thought that they wanted to and just couldn't due to financial troubles. I appreciate the thought, and I appreciate the fact that you're here to even hear us talking about the Panthers and having this opportunity. That means a lot to all of us here, because it's granted, this isn't a full-time job. This isn't a lucrative endeavor that's got us like rolling in dough or anything like that. It's just really cool to be able to have a community of people that I think community gets tossed out a lot, and it can diminish the meaning of it. But man, just a few messages we've received, a few things that Cody has showed me, some of the fans saying it's a family. I don't even want to say community. This is a family, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys willing to give your time to listen to a couple of guys who have no NFL experience, just NFL fandom, talking about the Carolina Panthers.
And
people's time is valuable.
The real AP says, CK, your Montessori toy will be there tomorrow or the next. So,
look at what Tim said.
I had to explain my wife why I was buying stuff for a lady on Amazon. Dude, that's
so
great. Dude, we have the best fans, man.
Check him out at Codizzle Allen, Codizzle_Allen on Twitter. I will continue to maintain this, guys. I'm reading a book right now. It's a novel, but strangely, I was very surprised that was written as recently as it has. They're referencing the beginning of the pandemic. It's a Michael Conley. It's a Lincoln Lawyer book. So I don't know if anybody, it's just total John Grisham type literature,
right,
but just recent. I did not realize when he published his first book, which I think was 2008, like he's churned out so many books in the last 15 years. Like this dude's a writing machine. But this book, which is only the 6th in the Lincoln Lawyer, I think, is during that. They're referencing the beginning of the pandemic. So he was writing clearly at that time. And I will promise you, this is someone who I was in Italy when the stuff was going down, baby, when they were shutting down airports and stuff. I was in Florence. The pandemic. Yeah, the pandemic. I navigated the pandemic far easier because of this podcast with you guys.
Absolutely.
In our community. Like, I was like, people are like, aren't you tired of being locked up for this? I was like, bro, every Tuesday night I've hung out with my best friends. What are you talking about? Like, I
hang out with more people in quarantine than I ever did outside.
Dude, this podcast made that shit, and I will continue to say that for the rest of my life.
Absolutely,
had a great time tonight. Cody Lashney, we've chopped up a lot. There's a lot more to come. Take us out of here.
C3 Panther Nation, you guys are absolutely incredible. And yes, I already saw Anthony put it in the chat. If, for whatever reason, the Panthers do make some big signing tomorrow, I will jump on. I'll do a quick impromptu live stream and do some reactions for the C3 Panthers podcast family, as we have established. Also, some quick notes. I will be on One Carolina's show tomorrow. Big John invited me to do a mock draft over with him at 8 o'clock tomorrow. That's 1 Carolina. Shout out to our guy, Big John. And then Saturday morning at 11 p.m., I've been invited back on Tobacco Sports Radio with Desmond Johnson. He's the co-host of the Believe in Panthers podcast with Jonathan Stewart. He invited me on this Saturday at 11 p.m. So y'all make sure you check that out. C3 is everywhere, man. You can't get away from us, dude. You cannot escape us. We're everywhere. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Until then, C3 Panther Nation, keep pounding.